Hello and welcome to Jonathan Casillas' Thoughts of the Day, or as I like to call it, my Thoughts of the Day. Today, as you can see below, we are going to read and interpret the Bible, Genesis chapter 4, verse 1 through 10. I'm going to first read it and then give you guys my interpretation. Once it is all recorded, it will be posted on my blog at johncasillas.com. And there, hopefully, you can give me your interpretation, the reasons you think I'm right, the reasons you think I'm wrong, and maybe we can start a discussion on it. So, here we go. Again, I'm reading from the New International Version, Genesis, the first book of the Bible, chapter 4, verse 1 through 10. And it says, Cain and Abel. Adam lay with his wife Eve, and she became pregnant, and gave birth to Cain. She said, with the help of the Lord, I have brought forth a man. Later she gave birth to his brother Abel. Now Abel kept flocks, and Cain worked the soil. In the course of time, Cain brought some of the fruit of the soil as an offering to the Lord. But Abel brought fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. The Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but on Cain and his offering he did not look with favor. So Cain was very angry, and his face was downcast. Verse 6. Then the Lord said to Cain, Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must master it. Now Cain said to his brother Abel, Let's go out to the field. And while they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, Where is your brother Abel? I don't know, he replied. Am I my brother's keeper? The Lord said, What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Again, that's New International Version, Genesis 4, chapter 4, verse 1 through 10. Now I'm going to give you my interpretation of this story. I'm doing this, one, because I read it yesterday trying to help a friend that also needed an interpretation of this story. She didn't understand what was going on. So, let's break it down verse per verse. Adam and Eve were husband and wife. They had a son. The firstborn was Abel. No, I'm sorry. The firstborn was Cain. The second was Abel. Abel kept flock. In other words, Abel was a herder, and Cain worked on the soil or farmed. Now, when it came time for them to give an offering to the Lord, Cain brought some fruit. It says Cain brought some of the fruit of the soil as an offering to the Lord. He didn't bring the best, he just brought something. On the other hand, Abel brought fat portions from some of the firstborn. Now, if you read back in history, you will see that the firstborn is usually a favored portion, either the firstborn calf, the firstborn child, the first harvest of the season. It's usually the best of the best. Now, instead of Cain giving his best, he gave something and thought that, I'll keep the rest and I will give God something. Abel, on the other hand, put God first, took the best and the fattest of his flock and offered it to the Lord as his offering. When the Lord saw this, he saw and gave favor to Abel. It says, the Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but on Cain and his offering he did not look with favor. Now, instead of Cain thinking and reminiscing within himself and wondering why, he did what a lot of us do and questioned God and then got angry with somebody else for doing the right thing. Now, the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? Why is the face downcast?" In other words, why are you solemn? He then says, and he warns him, "But if you do not do the right thing, sin is crouching at your door." In other words, be careful, because once you start doing the wrong thing, it becomes easy to continue to do the wrong thing. Instead of taking that warning, Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let's go out in the field." When they went out to the field alone, Cain killed Abel. The Lord again gave him a second chance and asked him, and I quote, "Then the Lord said to Cain, 'Where is your brother Abel?' And instead of coming clean, Cain said, 'I don't know.' He replied, 'Am I my brother's keeper?' Now, first, he did something wrong by not giving the best to the Lord, knowing that the reason he's alive, as in everybody else, such as us, is that God allows us to wake up every morning and to work. Abel understood this. Cain took this for granted. Therefore, he gave what he thought was mediocre, was okay, and he kept the best for himself. Abel, on the other hand, gave the best. And for this, he paid for it with his life by his brother. Now, when God asked him a question, God being omnipresent and knowing it all, he knew the answer. He wanted to know if Cain was going to give him the answer and let him know up front. But instead, he said, "I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?" That's when the Lord said, "What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground." If we read a little bit farther, it says, "Now you are under a curse and driven from the ground, which opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it will no longer yield its crop from you. You will be restless, wandering on earth." God gave him chance after chance after chance to redeem himself. He didn't so, and then he gave punishment. And it happens a lot. God gives us one after another chance, and then when we're punished, we look at God like, "Why'd you punish me?" We can't handle it, which is exactly what happens here. Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is more than I can bear. Today you are driving me from the land, and I will be hidden from your presence. I'll be restless, wander on earth, and whoever finds me will kill me." So now that God has punished him, Cain goes and realizes now that he is nothing without the Lord. But at this point, it's too late. And God shows him and punishes him because he gave him chance after chance after chance. So that is my interpretation of the book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 1 through 11. I know I only put 10 in the reading under me, but I did read a little extra just to elaborate on the story. Once this is posted, it'll be on my blog. Please feel free to express your emotions, feelings, your breakdown, agreements, disagreements, all that. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you for your time. Again, this is Jonathan Casillas from John Casillas. That's JONCASILLAS.com. Thank you. Have a good day.